Give the crowd a wave. Come on, there it is. Look at that. Look at that arm move. All right.
Let's get locked. Let's get locked. Good. Stuff it.
Scholar. She wants to thank her family and team for their support. You're cheering for. And keeping with tradition, I almost wore purple today because the suit of my childhood was beautiful and purple. Coach Mac, as he is affectionately called, we've written this down so that I don't mess it up, has been coaching the sport of wrestling for 44 years.
The reason why I got into coaching because I was raised by a single mom. And I had two wonderful coaches who were like fathers to me. And they poured into me a lot. And a lot of the stuff that we did, we had some great teams, but a lot of stuff we did wasn't about wins and losses. A lot of stuff we did was about after matches, track meets, and basketball games, going to McDonald's and getting hamburgers and french fries. And the one thing I still remember is that my mom was a single mother and she didn't have a lot of money. But every week I had a hamburger and french fries. And so the things I do are for kids. So I really appreciate it. That's it.
That's a good little prize to win early in the season.
Yeah.
You know, how'd you feel about that championship match there?
I was pretty confident going in. This whole tournament, I've been really focusing on getting a good warm-up so I can come out hot and ready, because I know when I'm at my peak, I can wrestle tough. There's not many people that can beat that. But last weekend, I came out flat and not ready to wrestle. So this weekend, I just really focused on my warm-up and just trusted in my abilities to wrestle. So I was pretty confident going into it.
It looked like whenever you were able to get his back, you were able to control him pretty well. Was that kind of the strategy going in, or how did you feel about that?
Well, I don't know. That's just kind of how I drill and wrestle at practice. You know, how I wrestle at practice translates to how I wrestle here. I just really try to stay tough and just try to finish matches, get swipes where I can, and just score.
You know, you're second place in state last year. What is the goal for this year, and how is it setting up for that quest for a state title?
Obviously, my goal is to get first, and honestly, I think if I stay on the path that I'm on and make sure I peak at the right time, I think that I'll be able to reach that goal.
What do you think about this tournament in the larger setting? So many good wrestlers here. How have you enjoyed this weekend?
I've enjoyed this weekend a lot. I mean, yesterday was really long, today's really long, but I'm glad that it's in this nice big venue and not a high school like last year. And it's great to see all these big schools here because there's a ton of fun matches to watch.
Sends his thanks to his mom and dad, Ty and McPherson, his coaches, Coach Hartman, and Green Arrow.
About just this tournament and the whole weekend, it's cool to have a pretty big event here in Southwest Washington, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You know, I've never seen a tournament this big for the girls, you know, locally. So I think it's really cool. It's such a big atmosphere, such a great venue, and I think it's awesome that they had girls this year.
Yeah, you rolled right through your bracket. You have a pin in the championship match. How did you feel about how you wrestled here today?
It felt good. You know, I had a couple tough matches in there, but I feel like it was all my mentality, just going into everything, making sure like I want to win. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do everything I can to win. So I think it's all in my mentality.
You know, how key is it to have a big tournament early in the season like this and to get a win for setting the tone for the rest of the season?
I think it's awesome. You know, we have a lot of big tournaments lined up. You know, this one, gut check, Kelso, and it's really competitive, it's really big, and I think it's really important because it's never good to have the state tournament be your first big tournament, and this gives us a really good look at what the competition is out there because people travel from all over to come here, and I think it's really important to get those matches in before state.
Maybe circle back to how special it is to have a girls tournament of this size now in Southwest Washington. What does that say about the growth of the sport and the quality of competition?
Oh, it's awesome. It's growing so much. Like women's wrestling, it's so cool to see how much it's grown from like when I was a little kid to now. Like when I was little, always having to wrestle with the boys because there was no girls. Like getting to wrestle a girl was a treat, and now we have full 32 women brackets, you know, in our hometown, and it's just awesome to see that it's gotten that big locally.